We are back for another Courtney Squared episode. This might be a bit of an emotional one, but we'll see how we go. Before we start...
I'm going to the movies after this.
to make
for a reward.
Yeah. Before we get into it though, I just need to remind you all that we are not medical professionals, we're not doctors. This is purely based on our personal experience and any research that we have done ourselves. So, yeah.
Take what you will.
So, in today's episode, we are talking once again about endometriosis. In particular, your stage 4 diagnosis, which, just a reminder, Courtney, is 5 days post-op. So it is all very fresh and raw, still currently.
I haven't actually spoken to a doctor yet. So again, it's that research piece,
yeah,
plus what I did already know about from speaking with doctors.
Yes.
Previously.
So when you woke up from surgery and you were told by your doctor that it was stage 4, what went through your mind?
Well, I think... Well, it was a mix of validation and grief. For those who don't know, there are 4 stages of endo. It's based on extent, depth, and the type of adhesions they find. But again, I want to flag this, and I think we mentioned this previously, it doesn't correlate with like pain severity. So someone with stage 1 could have debilitating pain. Someone with stage 4 doesn't automatically mean the pain's worse. It just means that it's deep infiltrating disease and organ involvement and a hell of a lot of it. Yeah. So I also just want to flag maybe that as well for, while we're throwing out numbers. But what I've learned is stage 4 sort of involves deep nodules, significant adhesions, bowel, bladder and other organ involvement, and the endometriomas. Say that 10 times fast, which are chocolate cysts, so just cysts filled with blood. When he told me it was stage 4, I was relieved because, as you know, since moving up here, my flare-ups have been pretty horrific.
Yeah.
But really only in the last probably 2 months, I'd say, has it really
really bad,
impacted my life. Whereas before, again, that whole piece on the stage doesn't necessarily mean pain's better or worse. I've been pretty good. I've been pretty, not symptom-free. I can definitely tell I've got it day to day, but it's not really as life-impacting as it has been recently. So to say I was relieved after being told there was nothing, that would be the biggest feeling when I wake up.
What does stage 4 actually mean medically?
So as we said, basically deeper everywhere, organ involvement.
Yeah.
So what that means is that sort of lining that's growing where it shouldn't, it can even fuse your organs together. And that's why there's also been a lot of pain in my pelvic region, because it's literally like being fused. My pelvis is being fused together. It's, hand in hand with my bowel and bladder, things that shouldn't be hand in hand.
Yeah.
It's literally just a case of there's more of it and it's deep.
Yeah.
To put it in, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, so happy to be quite basic about it.
I feel like you've already sort of answered this question, but does staging correlate with pain severity?
No.
Yes, we've covered it. What kinds of organ involvement are common in advanced endometriosis?
So I know for a fact definitely bowel and bladder, particularly in my circumstance.
Is that because they're closer to the uterus, or that's...
I don't know. I want to, I'll say yes. I've got, the cartoon photo of our insides where they're all neighbours.
Yeah.
I also, from memory, when I woke up, he did mention my kidney as well.
Yeah.
Which isn't amazing. But I guess I don't necessarily know why. I think it's just one of those things where it can travel, it can end up anywhere. As we've said in previous episodes, there's even been cases on people's lungs and eyes, and they ain't close.
Yeah.
But it's definitely it's actually not uncommon.
Yeah.
And that's
it
why
really
it's
can
misdiagnosed.
trouble. Yeah. You've said you felt validation and grief at the same time. Can you unpack that emotional mix?
Well, I think I was in shock because, I don't know, I wasn't expecting it to be worse. Again, not knowing a lot about endo, even being diagnosed 3 years ago, I probably wasn't presented with as much information as I could have been, or gone away and done as much research as I could have. I'm very much like, well, we'll sort it out and move on. Like, I don't like to, you know, I don't sit in things very well. So I wasn't expecting it to be worse. I didn't realise you could jump around. Like, it makes sense how you could jump around in stages, because they basically give you a clean slate and your body starts again. But I think stage 3 in my mind was bad enough.
Yeah.
But it was validating because I had that increase in symptoms, which, again, but in saying that, we've learned doesn't actually correlate with the stages. So it could have been stage 1 and I could have been in that much pain. But it's validating because of that. But it was shock because wasn't expecting it to be worse. I was terrified they weren't going to find anything because of how I was treated in that ultrasound scan. And that fear, like, imagine being in as much pain as I was in waking up, but then kind of being told, oh, we didn't find anything.
Yeah. And
you just sliced and diced me to Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that whole was this for nothing, really such a psychological nightmare.
Yeah, you told me you were having dreams about it.
I had such a vivid dream. I have very vivid dreams on anaesthetic. And I just... I thought the doctor had already come in and told me there was nothing. It was probably part of the reason I woke up quite upset in recovery. And I think it was optimistic because I was only in surgery for an hour.
Yeah.
Now, my last endo surgery, where there was a lot of it, and stage 3, I was under for a few hours, but they were doing other things. I have to keep reminding myself. It was for that unrelated gyno surgery. But I was only under for an hour. And I was told that if it was bad, the worse it is, the longer I'll be under, purely because of looking for it, whatever, getting it out. So, you know, you're exchanging texts with my mum being like how good she was in there for an hour.
Yeah,
so I literally had a
good,
tracking
right?
number. But I was in recovery for 3, about that, I think. I woke up 2.5. I woke up in excruciating pain. I just remember waking up and I had gas got trapped under my right rib and was like pushing up. And then I just had this horrific cramping. And I didn't have that last time. I just woke up crying anyway. Which I guess that's what being high does to me. I just get emotional.
Yeah.
So I think I even remember saying to the nurse, well, he's had to have done something.
Yeah.
Because I'd feel that wouldn't happen if it was just slice and dice and look around.
Yeah.
And what was really hard is I didn't see a doctor till the next day. So I was just sitting there, so miserable, in so much pain, so upset that whole night.
Yeah.
Did you even freaking find anything?
Yeah.
And, you know, there's something uniquely destabilising about being told you're fine when your body is screaming that you're not. So, yeah, super validating that.
Yeah, of course, because you'd feel like...
What happened?
Maybe it is all in my head and, like...
I've done this before. It wasn't in my head last time. It can't be in my head this time.
Yeah.
So just that invisible pain being made visible for that 1 hour is so... But I think we were saying, was it yesterday? You were like sitting here, because I was particularly brighter yesterday. I'm having a bit of a bad day today. And you even go sitting here, there is nothing...
Yeah. You can't... It's really hard because you can't visibly see that. Like, if your leg was broken, we can all see that. Everyone can see that. You're in pain, your leg's broken. If I walked around in a crop top, looks like I've got a few paper cuts on my belly. Bit of bruising, bit of bleeding.
You
know, but put a t-shirt on, walk down the street, no one would have any idea.
And that's what's so hard. Because the day you go, I'm not fine.
Yeah.
What? Like, I was at Movie World with you for a whole day. Yeah, it was so fine. And that night I was in and I was so fine.
Yeah.
Drove home, so fine.
Yeah.
That night in the fetal position in the shower, wondering if I call an ambulance or not.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anyone because what are you gonna? What is anyone gonna do for you?
Wow, you should have told me.
Yeah, we've had this conversation. I've had 2 people sit me down. I've I've learnt my lesson. We're here now. That's why I call it babysitting.
Yeah. All right. We're going to get into a few maybe harder questions. So what does it do to someone psychologically to be told they're fine when they know that they're not?
Being told your scans are normal when your symptoms are not, you question your sanity. Like, I'm pretty crazy. We know that. But I'm not an idiot. Do not, like, I used to say this to boyfriends too. Like, the moment anyone makes me feel like an idiot, like, don't you dare. It's just something, I don't know, I think it came from my CRPS and being questioned with all of that.
Yeah.
You're labelled as medically anxious. Yeah. So it's that whole, not necessarily Munchausen, because it's not a parent doing it to me, but, oh, she's just a bit, goes to the doctor for everything. But then the irony is you stop going. So I didn't seek medical help for 12 months. Last time someone told me they wouldn't operate on me because it wasn't bad, and that showed up in a scan.
Yeah.
Ponder that one. So you're labelled as anxious. You question, like, the surgery was going ahead. The doctor said to me, oh, we're still operating. Then there's that panic of, I've moved away from family. I live alone. Just got a new job. Don't want to put friends out. Is it more trouble than what it's worth if they're not going to find anything?
Yeah.
So, and then so therefore your health's at risk. Because what if I don't want to think what if I wasn't operated on. And as I've said, like, on the flip side of all that though, waking up to confronting news is also just really not nice. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. No one wins. Except I suppose my long-term health.
Yeah.
Because we pushed on.
Did you ever question your own sanity during this process?
I'll say yes, I don't want to, but I will. I put on a very strong front that not a lot can bring me down after, oh my God, I could write a book, honestly, the last 15
really
years. I'd read it. I reckon it'd be quite entertaining. But, I've put on quite a front with not a lot phases me. But I think I remember ringing you, and I think I said after the appointment, I think I even said to you, like, I'm so strong and do so well and have no issue. Like, I'll do these ones to a doctor and go, no, like, don't you dare. Like, I'm very outspoken. I do nothing quietly. All this women suffer in silence thing, I don't.
Yeah.
I yap about it. I raise awareness, I advocate. But there's always, and this links into my post-traumatic stress disorder, complex PTSD diagnosis, where it is so bizarre what just makes me fold. And being eye to eye with that woman, and she goes, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah. Is that the sonographer?
That was, the most triggering. And I rang you and I was crying.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, and then I was angry that I was crying.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why does that tick? Like, because it's a question of your sanity.
Yeah.
Of your legitimacy.
Yeah.
Why would I lie? I've got so much on in my life
to be cut open.
This. I've just got the most amazing job. I want to go to the Gold Coast. I was like, I want to go to Wet n Wild.
Yeah.
Okay, good luck. Like, there is so much I want to be doing day to day to have a surgery for the goddamn sake of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really, really, really upsetting.
That probably sort of leads into the next question. How does medical gaslighting show up for women with chronic pain? Obviously, you've had this not just with endometriosis, but throughout majority of your life, really.
Well, I'm a girl, I'm 15, I'm dramatic. Now I'm a woman with a bad period.
Get over it.
Yeah, not a lot going on. Pretty sure I'm busy, babe, but that's okay. I can show you my diary if you don't believe me. It is so funny because, you see a girlfriend or guy friend be gaslit by a partner and you tell them to run.
Yeah, you're like, that's not okay.
Why are you made to feel like you caused that argument when he's the one that was sleeping with someone else?
Yeah.
Also something I have experience with. You told them to run. When you are gaslit medically, all because they've got a freaking piece of paper on the wall to say they've studied the highest of high degrees, why shouldn't we believe what comes out of their mouth?
Yeah.
Why shouldn't we question? Why question them before ourselves? They're the ones with the piece of paper. They're the ones that see this every day. They're the ones. Medical gaslighting makes people medically anxious. I myself, even with my CRPS journey, I refused medical help for 3 years. I preferred my condition getting worse and managing it the way I liked to manage it, because it beat walking in a room and being told, "Oh, you're getting bullied. So if we talk about that, do you reckon you could walk out of here?"
Yeah.
Don't think that's the cause. But same with this. It's like I was told 12 months ago, even though it's showing up on your scans, we'll just chuck you into menopause again without cutting it out first.
Yeah.
I only go back to a doctor for 12 months. And
Yeah.
it took me being on the floor here by myself
To go, maybe I should.
But again,
Yeah.
I Googled and Googled and Googled and probably did myself a service. It can do people disservices in a lot of instances too, I want to flag. But I literally Googled someone who had a Google review being like, yep, he treats endo by cutting it out.
Yeah.
Which isn't an option for some people. It's not what some people want. Some people want to go down natural pathways. Great. I know myself, natural's never worked. Like I've been plugged into a battery to help me walk again. So I'm all for medical science.
Yeah.
And robots do endo surgery sometimes these days. So I'm all for a robot.
Yeah.
So I literally Googled until I found someone, and I was on the phone to you and I said, I found this guy who's like, he just cuts it out all day, every day. I'm going to try and get in before Christmas. And he had that appointment and I got in.
It was all meant to be.
And the relief, so I went in there, told him my symptoms, and I remember saying to you, this isn't a chat. I'm going in to say, when can you cut me open?
Yeah.
Don't try and fuddy-duddy me. Don't try and like fill my belly and go, oh, you might have a bit of something. Mate, like we've cut me open before. We know it's there. I sent through all the reports in advance as well. The best thing you can do, and I've learnt this in my years, any scan, any blood test, anything you get done, ask for a copy. Yeah. They don't give it to you a lot of the time. Ask for a copy. It's yours. Yeah. If they go, no, it's like, pretty sure it's mine. Yeah.
You are entitled to it.
You are. Yeah. And it's as simple as emailing a receptionist of where you had something done. They've got to hold the records for 7 years in filing. So I emailed all my previous OBGYNs, got all the information. Here are the photos of the old endo, all the stuff and things. And I think because I did that, he did a little, I don't know what he was typing. And then he goes, yeah, we'll book you in as soon as we can, but we'll do another x-ray, another scan. Just, it's been 12 months. You should get scans regularly as a woman anyway, to be honest, probably. And pap smears and whatnot. So we'll do all of that. But how's the 20th of Feb? Yeah. So I was blessed in this instance. I felt like I really almost gaslit him. But I'm all for that. Yeah. A bit of like fake it till you make it. Go in with the confidence that like own your issues. Own your issues. Be confident in the last endo diagnosis. Chances are it hasn't changed. In my case, it got worse. Yeah. Exactly. Gaslight back, babe. Yeah.
What did it take for you to advocate for surgery despite the doubt around you?
I think just knowing from the last surgery that it was there, the research I'd done to say reoccurrence isn't uncommon, my history with CRPS, again, I think if I'd only had the one and done endo surgery and this was my second ever interaction to do with something like this, I probably wouldn't have advocated as hard because I just wouldn't know how. But I think as everything I've just said, like, be confident in your most recent diagnosis. Be confident that, okay, research blatantly states that endo doesn't always come up. Yeah. It hasn't come up. Doesn't mean they're not about to cut it out of you. And you know what? If there was only a smidgen of it, who cares? That smidgen's now gone and you get on with your life. So I think don't dampen anything. Advocate for what you believe. Research is powerful. They're reading, like, the same shit that they've read, you can read.
Yeah.
There's peer-reviewed journals out there. It's boring as, and a good nightcap if you struggle getting to sleep, but read the same stuff. Like, go in equipped. Same with my battery. The device was on old mate's desk. I walked in as a 17-year-old and said, I want that. Oh, well, we don't operate on young people. Well, you should, because my quality of life's pretty shit. And I repeated his own research paper to him.
Yeah. Smart.
And now I can walk again.
Yeah.
So knowledge is absolute power, and don't let them tell you there is nothing wrong, because they will. They absolutely will. Whether it's a sonographer or an OBGYN or anyone, they will. Okay, well let's get a definitive diagnosis and discuss next steps if that's the case.
Yeah. On the sonographer, how did it feel to be asked, are you sure you have endo?
I just found it hilarious as she's like looking at my last scars.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I can't make it up. Don't get me wrong. I think doctors would see people every day. Oh, I have endometriosis. Oh, so when was your excision surgery? Oh, I haven't had it before.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm sure that exists.
Yeah.
And honestly, good on those people. If they've done a bit of a self-diagnosis, they get cut open and they've got it. Like, challenge them for their position, I reckon. But I don't doubt they see all kinds of, they see Munchausen by proxy syndrome with parents. Doctors have seen it all, more than us.
Hypochondriacs.
All of it.
Yeah.
But to blatantly, I emailed them the other scan paperwork to be like, well, here's what to look for. I also had a cyst on one of my tubes, which they couldn't find, but I miraculously had removed on Friday. Funny how that reappeared. But I sent them all the paperwork as well. I sent them the endo diagnosis. So I equipped them to almost be like, here's what to look for. But to be looked in the eye, like, oh, are you sure when did you get diagnosed with endo? Are you sure you haven't had it removed? You've seen my cuts. Yeah. My new ones. And you've seen my old scars.
And the old ones, yeah.
Takes a hot minute for those scars to budge.
Yeah.
If I had surgery recently, best believe I think I'd know.
Yeah.
Like, I was painted as an absolute idiot. And that is so destabilizing, dehumanizing.
Yeah.
It is not fair. You are there as a vulnerable individual. And I didn't give a shit if she was having a bad day. I was having a bad day. So
why do you think that ultrasounds and MRIs don't necessarily pick up endometriosis then?
Well, it's so I was thinking about this because, again, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a sonographer. I studied comms, for God's sake. I could write about it if someone told me about it. But I was actually thinking about this because, you know how I'm complaining about the gas pain post-surgery and how I'm making those gross jokes about, oh, I wish I could just fart.
Yeah.
Right. But it's because they don't put the gas in my bowel. They're putting it in other crevices, which don't have an in or out. I can't burp because it's not my...
Yeah.
It's soft, like, it's just in there until my body disperses it. Because endo grows outside. An internal ultrasound goes in, right, to look at the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's not in or on the wall, they go on top to check liver, kidney, right? But even in my ultrasound report, when I reread it, there was a bit of bowel gas blocking their view.
Yeah.
So it's as simple as, like, we're looking for something that's in a nook and cranny of something somewhere that, unless you are cutting me open to see the external face of my organs, of my uterus, of whatever, you're not going to find it.
Yeah.
Is it as simple as that? Like,
Potentially.
I don't know. But I've had scans before, it has shown up.
That's what I was confused about, because only 12 months ago.
And it was only stage 3.
Yeah.
I had cysts.
So
I had the deep
those would have
infiltrating.
still been,
I can't cure it.
They would have still been there. You didn't have surgery in the last 12 months. They would have still been there from your last scan to this scan.
So I think it's the skill of a sonographer. And I think even just the setup of the room was different. Like, where I was a couple of weeks ago was no different than, you run of the mill, I've got a sore belly, and they do the stuff and things. Whereas when I was in Sydney for this scan 12 months ago, it was a fertility clinic, not an X-ray imaging centre.
Yeah.
Even, like, they had a big screen. I saw everything. I didn't even see what they were, like, they didn't have anything on a screen for me this time. Last time they even did the 4D imaging, like you would go and get of your baby. They gave me one of my IUD. I found that quite funny. That's what I want to see in there. So even just, and I remember I walked out and I rang mum and I'm like, it was just different. It felt different.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I don't think I maybe had the same. The biggest test would be is if I've decided I'm going to keep, like, get rid of a few variables, control what I can, keep this OBGYN because he backs me and got it out. Yeah. But for all future scans, I'm going to go back to that place
in Sydney.
Yeah. That detected it. I'm not saying they'll detect it every time. I could be faced with the same consequence. Yeah. But if we can keep some variables the same, who knows?
I think that's a extremely good idea.
We all know I'm all for a good, like, once I find a medical team, you're my
and you're slowly building your
more.
new team up here.
I need to find a GP if anyone's got recommendations in Brisbane area.
Okay. What is considered the gold standard for diagnosis and why is surgery still required?
As I said, right, I think in Australia, until, I don't know what is supposed to change. I don't know how other countries do it. I'd say it's the same everywhere because it is. But I think, unfortunately, that laparoscopic keyhole, get in there with a camera and have a look. Because if you're taking the word of imagine if I took the word of my last ultrasound.
Yeah.
So I don't think scans can't be conclusive. Even if it's detected on a scan, well, obviously they'll probably opt to cut you open at that point. Yeah. But, I wasn't 12 months ago.
Yeah.
I think you've got to advocate for that surgery. Because then they can take swabs and he sent mine off to a lab because there's also an increased chance of ovarian cancer and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
With those growths. Yeah. So just get in there, get it out, get the biopsy. Again, this isn't right for everyone. This is right for me. I've had symptomatic relief for 3 years having it cut out, which is a pretty good run if you ask me for a chronic illness.
Yeah.
So I would say it's got to be what's best, but get rid of it. Pull the weed out. So
what would you say to someone whose scans are clear but their pain isn't?
If your pain stops you living a life, it's not normal. A clear scan doesn't rule anything out. You're allowed to seek a second opinion. You don't need to move into state. Worked for me though. And excision surgery is considered best practice when performed by experienced surgeons. If you're sitting with an OBGYN and they go, we can do an ablation, where they go in with the laser and don't actually cut it out, I would personally seek a second opinion. How good's Google and AI these days? This is how I found...
Do your research,
this is how I found my guy.
Yeah.
Glowing reviews about the excision surgery, even down to the point of not having... even my gas pain has been better. Yeah. I made the joke with him. I was like, I think you deflated me a bit better than the last one because I feel a bit less horrific with it. Still not great. But do your research, get a second opinion. It's costly. I'm blessed to not have that burden, and I've got incredible parents, private health, all the things. Like my hospital stay costs $250.
Yeah.
I know many people don't have that blessing.
Yeah.
But if you can, it is worth the investment to not have a long-term downfall.
Yeah, 100%. And I think we've touched on this a little bit as well, but how dangerous can it be when women start doubting themselves because imaging doesn't show anything?
Well, don't gaslight yourself. Again, we tell people to run from others that gaslight you. Don't gaslight yourself. Endo hides. And we know, this is what's wild, is if you do the research, we know it can't be detected 9 times out of 10, particularly in a scan. So don't gaslight yourself. Know that it's actually so normal to have clear...
Yeah.
God, they x-rayed my curled up foot and told me I was fine. Mate, can't make this up.
Just straighten it out, mate.
Oh, move your toes. I'll do my best. So, chronic illness is invisible. It's a hallmark of it. It's why people struggle so much with it. But doesn't mean you have to hide.
Yeah.
So don't gaslight yourself. Know it is a hidden illness. Know it is incredibly difficult to diagnose. Know it takes an average of 8 years.
Yeah.
Go on the ride. Go on the journey. If you get an early diagnosis, amazing.
Yeah.
If you get one eventually, great.
Yeah. I mean, your last 12 months, you got a scan that showed stage 3, but you had a doctor that didn't want to cut you open. And so you...
I don't know why to this day. She just is more...
But you went with that.
Yeah, she's a doctor.
Exactly. She'd seen the scan, so...
And then my symptoms settled down.
Yep. Then you moved up here. You had
Stress.
massive flare-up, maybe due to stress. You had a lot going on. And then you had a clear scan and a doctor willing to cut you open. So that's 4 completely different experiences with both getting
one
an ultrasound and a doctor's opinion. So, and that's only in 12 months. So there's going to be a lot of times out there, if you're just starting your journey, there's going to be a lot of, I would say, rejection where you feel like you're questioning yourself, and then there's going to be other times where you're validated.
Correct.
Yeah.
And go with the answer that you're most comfortable with.
Exactly.
If I was most comfortable with not being operated on and jumping back into
Yeah.
menopause, well, we would have stuck with old mate down in Sydney.
Yeah.
I just searched until I found someone that would cut me open.
Yeah. Because that's what was right for you.
Because it's worked in
Yeah.
the past. Like,
Yeah.
it's tried and tested. So, you know, again, we're not medical professionals. This is based off lived experience.
Yeah.
I will forever find someone that will put a spinal cord stimulator in me, remove my endo, cut the back of my head open, freeze my nerve endings for migraines.
And we'll go through in a future episode all about advocacy, because it's super, super important. But I just have one more question for you. How did waking up to, well, confronting news once you spoke to the doctor the next day, how has that news changed you?
Well, it's still obviously very fresh. So technically we only got the news, 4 days ago.
Yeah.
And I don't see a doctor for another week to actually talk through what it means. So I don't know what treatment plans he's got up his sleeve, nothing like that. I don't know if he wants to do hormone therapies, whatever. So the unknown is very unnerving. And it probably won't hit me until I have said conversation with the doctor. But, you know, he has already, in the one sentence, it was, you know, it's worse, stage 4. I also have been going through fertility testing with all of this because I'm 27. It was flagged with me whilst I don't have a partner. You know, freezing eggs, insurance policy, all the stuff and things. He's already told me carrying, like, I'm so hostile. Surprise, surprise. But, you know, it was a lot of news in a probably not even a 5-minute conversation on reflection. I sit with it. I'm very good at distraction. My psychologist says I'm very good at diversion. I'll throw myself into something else. I'm looking into a doctorate, for God's sake, because study's how I get through everything.
Yeah.
So, in the chronic pain space, no less. But, yeah, I think after my appointment, I'll probably be able to answer that question better, because at this point I have up and downs. I was emotional this morning.
Yeah.
I was emotional, was it my first day home? When I'm by myself and you're getting your own head about things, of course it's hard, but I'm also probably more logical and, you know, I'll read about it, I'll do the things, and I'll go and study a doctorate.
Yeah.
Because why the hell not? So I think I'll be able to answer that better once I have a better lay of the land. But at the moment it's been just buzzwords thrown at me that I've gone away and Googled.
Yeah. Well, maybe we will come back to you after your doctor's appointment and see
For a good cry.
for an update.
Yeah.
Tried to make you cry this episode, but
I got it all out earlier.
didn't get there.
About an hour. If you filmed me an hour earlier, we'd be in trouble.
I'll get the camera out next time.
Yeah, exactly. Got it out for everything else. But, yeah, definitely I think we could definitely do a piece on, well, what does treatment look like for an incurable illness?
Yeah. But
On that cheery note.
And we'll obviously get a bit of an update from Courtney once she has her next doctor's appointment and she has a bit more information on what her diagnosis really means and where to from here. Yeah. But for now,
we're going to the movies.
say hi to your mum for me.
No, that's right.